now we're getting ready to do another pour. If you watched last week, we did a spin pour. And tonight we're going to do another one, only this time it's going to be with resin. And a little bit different approach, so I'll be doing the pouring again tonight. Just going to operate the cameras. This will be our last night shooting with the old camera gear, so...
Hooray!
Yay! New camera and computer coming. Okay, I gave it away. All right, let's go get this done. Ready?
Yep.
And as I said, I am going to sneak in and do a second week this week. Kind of like right after I got done with this one last week, I was like, that was kind of not what I had planned. That's not how the game was played, if you remember right, folks. What I did was I started out with some paint on this, and then I kind of spun it around to see if we could get gravity to take aim and get the paint distributed well. It was kind of a half of a success. I ended up doing a lot of swiping, and you know, it's nice. I like the way it came out, but totally not the execution that I had envisioned. So I'm giving a second shot with the resin tonight. So I have my resin all stirred up, and I'm going to go ahead and mix up my colors. Tonight I'm going to be using this is called a True Blue mica powder. And with that I'm going to mix in a little bit of that Cool Perry alcohol ink, just to give it a little bit of a different tint. And for my second color, I'm going to go with my very favorite, Blue Russet, the Blue Russet mica powder. And for the third color, we're going to go with that. Remember I told you I had a green-yellow duo? Well, here it is, folks. It's green-yellow duo. And it's probably going to be on a little light side, too, so I think I'm going to give that a little boost with my favorite, Stream alcohol ink. And for my neutral, I'm going with black. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this board transferred over to the spinning board. And then we will be right back with you to show you what's up. Just coming back in, just getting a little leftover of the clear resin onto the board. And wanted to just save one color for you and maybe get you a little closer to how absolutely luscious that color is. That is the True Blue mixed with 6 drops of the Cool Perry. And it was, a good healthy dip of the stick in that one. Went a little lighter on this one. This is the Blue Russet, because that is just so very rich. And I want something to be a little on the more translucent side, so this will blend and hopefully come through on its own nicely. And so what I did was, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with this third cup, got a really good healthy scoop, very much like this. Same with the blue. Put that in there. It's kind of good when you're working with the mica to sink it right away so it's not blowing around. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm not sure about how many drops we'll see as we get going here. But there's one, because this is way darker than the Cool Perry. 2. I'm going to stick with 3 on this. We're just going to go half strength, because that's quite a bit deeper in tone. And that again was the green-yellow duo, or the duo green-yellow mica, mixed with the Stream alcohol ink. And let's see how that mixes up. These micas are just so luscious on their own, but sometimes I think they fall on the little light side. And so to boost them, give them a little bit of a boost with the alcohol inks is a good idea. I've found it's been working well for me. You want to make sure you get them mixed up good afterwards, though. Okay, so like I said last week, my execution really just rotted. It was awful. And so what I'm doing this week is, I got a little clear. Oh, isn't that cute? A little clear heart. Ooh, a little black coming off onto the cup. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glove up and get this stuff out of the way of the potential. If you watched last week, you saw the board go whoosh right off the turntable. So we don't really want that to happen tonight with the resin. We're going to try to be a little more under control. And if you remember, as a kid, the board would spin around and you would hold your, I'm holding my wine, but you would hold your paint in a squirt tube above it, and you would drip, 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 drip all over as the board was spinning very fast, okay? So that's like totally not how we did it last week. We had paint on there and we were just trying to get it to move around with gravitational force, and it was semi success. So, okay, what we're doing tonight is we're going to get the board spinning tonight, and then we're going to pour drip, and see what we come out with. We may have to do a little of the hair dryer. It's right on deck, ready to be plugged in and used. I'm expecting we might, because things are going to start set up as I sit here talking away with my resin setting up in the cup. So I'm going to take my sip of wine. We're going to get this board a spinning. So I hope everybody's had a good week. We have had a fantastic week around here. All kinds of exciting stuff going on. We have a new camera with a couple of lenses, and that's on its way and should be here midweek. So this will probably be the last time we'll be, well, maybe not the last time, but we won't be as dependent on our personal devices, let's put it that way, for our workflow. And I'm already thanking the heavens above for the additional blessing of also being able to upgrade on the computer system as well, because where I don't struggle here, I struggle in the editing process. I just want to make sure these are all good and mixed for their full 3 minutes. And there it looks smoking hot. So, don't really have any plan of execution. I am going to get some sticks out of some cups. Like I said, a second attempt at a not so bad idea. I have seen others pull this off with just plain acrylic paints. And okay, everybody's stirred and ready to go. I am going to glove up and I'm going to get this pour going. Got a couple of nice fresh ones underneath, a pair of half-used ones to be thrifty. So yeah, we've had a fantastic week, picking out new equipment, building a new, Best Buy is building our computer for us. It should be a beaut and able to handle my editing needs far into the future. Because in addition to shooting content for YouTube, I have also become a Black Box member. And probably most of you are not familiar with Black Box, but it is a very fine organization, Black Box Global. Look it up. If you're a YouTube content creator, you might be interested. So I'm going to give my cups a little pinch so I can get a good pour. And don't want to knock anything over here when we're spinning, so we're going to just kind of back all our colors off a little bit. And you can come way over here so I can get just a little bit closer. And we are going to go ahead and give this board a spin. And just do a little drizzle. Keep her going and see what kind of things we might do. Interesting. Now I'm going to come in with some blue. Go ahead and give this a pinch. And I'm going to go the opposite direction this time, just because I feel that I may be a little weighted because I'm not moving around too much. And I want to keep the board moving, is maybe a little bit easier to do with my left hand. This is kind of a walk and chew gum at the same time thing, folks. Trying to see what kind of patterns I might be able to get going here. I'm getting a little chicken. As you can see, I'm trying to stay on the board. So I'm just going to leave just a little bit off in reserve on each color. Just because I am a little chicken. This is new. Okay, let's try something. Maybe we'll try doing a diagonal, more back and forth motion with this hand as the board is spinning. That's not looking too awful bad, though. I'm getting a little braver. Okay. And a lot of it is timing that trip out into the area that you want it to go into. And it's still not hitting it, so I'm just going to wait for it to stop. Okay, one more color. That pretty green, yellow, duo, mixo. Let's go around again. Whoa. All right, that's kind of cool. So let's see how much we got on here. I'm going to just bring it up and give it a little lift and let you have a little closer look. It's not looking too awful bad. Kind of liking it. Well, let's see if we can get some stretching going on. It's looking pretty circular. I wonder why. And now you're going to see the back of the board. Let's see if I can do this over here. It's trying to give it a little shake. Stretch those little layers out into one another. Set you back down. Oh, lovely. Oh, wow. Look at that as one good looking thumb, folks. I almost want to stick it in my mouth. Woo, that's pretty. Skin material. I spent my morning with Gary V, watching him yard sale. Boy, would I like to spend a day yard sailing with him. I love to yard sale, and I'm kind of like him. I'm always on the hunt. I think I know things about stuff. I think I know stuff, and I do a little bit. We've collected some baseball cards in our day and things like that, haven't we, honey? So, and I love glass. I'm always dragging home a lot of glass. But I have found some good deals over the years. I found a whole box of beautiful Nielsen frames, which I could never afford, even when I was working as a full-time photographer. They're quite pricey, so that was quite a find. I got a whole box of them for $10, I think, and I'm still using them. That was 20 years ago. Seeing lots of bubbles. Okay, well, I'm just going to come in around the corners instead of doing a whole bunch of more spinning right at the moment, because I think what I'm going to do is get the hair dryer out and move a little stuff around that way. Yeah, I know, and I'm kind of holding that off specifically in case we end up looking like anything we may want to add to a pattern or anything that seems to form. Not an eyeball. I'm seeing a little bit of a rose, kind of. You know, like if I went... and then what I'm trying to do is kind of give a little shadow to this lightest color here. So I'm just kind of doing that, you know, going a little bit around it. Not that it's going to stay that way. Once I get the hairdryer out, it'll probably be all over the place. But just to bring a little more definition, kind of get those layers to start playing back and forth with one another. Okay, now I want to mix it up a little bit. I don't want to leave anything on the table or in the cup tonight. Let's try to get it all on the board and blow it around and get as much working for us as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little cut right here while I go ahead and scrape the cups. Not the most fascinating thing to watch, so we'll bring you back in when I get the hairdryer out. Okay, everybody, just got everything on the board. I scraped out all the cups. Whatever little bit is still left in there is now coming out onto a mold. And I just wanted to let you see exactly what I did. Kind of went around with some black, did some more drizzle with the green, just kind of layered some colors into the corners. And now I've got the hairdryer all plugged in. We're going to give it a little blow around and see what happens. And we'll try to remember to reduce the noise of the hairdryer for you in the editing process. I think this part always looks so neat on camera. Oh, come on. Give me a little more cord there. Okay, here we go. So, again, want this on heat. And I'm going to start off on low and just kind of try to move it around a little bit. And then once it gets warmed up, we're going to turn it up a little bit higher and really get it going. It's warm. As you can see, this will pop some of your bubbles, not all of them. And you can see as it gets warm, it starts to get liquid. And eventually that will work down into the pigments and start moving those pigments around. This is a good time when you can decide whether you want to do a little more spinning. You could do just some directional stuff with your hairdryer. One thing you do want to do is get it all to the edges. You don't want any little voids around the edges. Just kind of break that surface tension on the edge and it should drip over nicely. You might have to warm it up a little bit around the edges to get it to smooth out. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of movement going on, which is great because I'm really kind of liking just what I see and just kind of what's happening. It's just kind of all blending and the colors are kind of blending together and looking pretty funky, pretty nice. You see, if you stay in a spot for a long time, you get more of an effect, obviously. They call that kind of a bloom effect. Kind of ends up looking like a flower if you kind of do that in a little circular motion. So you can kind of get like some colors to just kind of explode over top of the others by just staying in that one spot for a little bit. And I'm going to do that on each one of these corners. And you'll notice I'm still on low heat, or low air, not high. Not moving it around too much, but enough. This corner's still looking a little defined down here. I'm just going to back off for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this off and just take a look and see where I might want to go next. One thing I like to do at this time, because you want to kind of get that nice smooth edge. Of course, we have a moving board tonight, folks, so that's part of the pain and beauty of working on a turntable. Just kind of gingerly work together to accomplish what you are trying to get done. And right now, this is the roughest side of this board, and it is going to be a little bit of a devil, I'm afraid. It's going to have some bare spots, and I probably will have to do a little scoop in and reapply into those areas to get them to fill in nice. But now I'm just going to go ahead and bring it around. It's also probably not a bad idea when you're working with resin to use a turntable and kind of keep it moving. I think that if you're just a little off on your level, which I think probably everybody is, that would kind of help alleviate any ill effects from being just slightly off level. Just try to keep it moving, and it's also nice to be able to see. You get it a little closer, get a better view, different lighting, and a different ability to apply pressure. Boring you with my edge work, but also you get a little spin around on things. I'm really liking it. I don't think I want to touch it, and I don't think I want to go on high or anything. I'm just really, yeah, I'm really loving just the way those colors are blending and stuff. So if that is going to be the case, I am going to go ahead and light this baby up. Get rid of some bubbles and call it another terrific Friday night pour. I hope you folks are enjoying these nights with us. We certainly hope that we get enough of you watching that we can turn it into a party. Go live, take questions, take suggestions, take orders. Anything your heart's desire. And so we are going to call that another success, folks. There you go. I'm going to try to bring you up very carefully for a little bit of a closer look. And try not to drip too much off of the table. But we'll bring you in with those beautiful close-ups in the morning once everything's all nice and dry. And we thank you so much for watching. And hope you like us. Hit the subscribe button. And we will see you again next Friday. Say good night, Cliff.
Good night.